In today's video, we are going to be doing these Polygel Seafoam marble nails, so please keep watching. So the focus of this video is actually going to be the nail art using my non-dominant hand. But as far as the Polygel prep, application, shaping goes, my last video has the same exact process. You just want to repeat it on your non-dominant hand. So be sure to check out the last video for more in-depth instructions. I'm just showing a quick recap here, but again, it's the same process, same products repeated on the non-dominant hand. So here's a quick refresher, but if you want to see the full video, check out the video just before this. So yeah, push the cuticle back, apply your tips, do your base gel and protein bond, and then we are using makartt French press, and then taking our brush and 70% isopropyl alcohol to pat that out. Once it's kind of nice and flat, we drag it down to kind of shape it to the pre-shaped tip. For the cuticle, I like to place the polygel not right at the cuticle area, but below it, and then work it towards the cuticle for it to be nice and flush as possible. Here's a more detailed clip of that. And then, yeah, again, turning your brush as needed to kind of shape and mold the product, using your isopropyl alcohol to help shape that product as well. And again, for the shaping, also more detail on the last video, but I'm using my round pana bit, my 5-in-1 fine grit bit, and my 80/80 grit hand file to finish off with hand filing here. And now we are going to jump into the nail art, which again is the focus of this video. So we are going to take Young Nail Swipe and some lint-free wipes, and we are going to very thoroughly remove any dust and dehydrate and cleanse. Super important to do this step before you go in for any nail art. Having a really clean surface helps your nail art just come out better, and also not chip, and just have better retention as well. So we are using a couple different blues here: Hawaiian blue from D&D, berry blue from D&D, and Madam Glam Ready Set Ski, which is also a really nice dark blue. We need a white as well, so Madam Glam Pure White is my favorite at the moment. And then using this blue liner gel from Nails by Dev. So when it comes to doing marble nail art or anything with like blooming gel, I like to just take a clean nail art palette and put all of the colors basically in a row with some space between them. So we're starting with that Ready Set Ski color, and we are putting that kind of at the left hand side. And then we are going to take our next color, which we're gonna do white. So I'm trying to do colors that are not super similar, not next to each other. So basically you wanna have colors that have more difference in them. So like dark blue next to white versus like the two dark blues next to each other, so that you get more kind of variety in the marble effect when you kind of use all the colors. So using this kind of lighter blue in the middle, and then we're gonna put white next to that as well. And yeah, you just basically kind of want to line them all up, all of the colors that you'd like to incorporate into the marble look. So yeah, taking that white, putting it next to that lighter blue color. Then we are going to take that liner gel from Nails by Dev. I always try to mix these up before because they are obviously thicker. So I'm using this cuticle pusher. This is obviously a cuticle pusher that I don't use for prep. It's just kind of an old one that I have. So using that to scoop out that blue liner gel color and put it next to the white. And then we'll take our other dark blue color from D&D. So this is what I kind of mean by like, you don't want to have like the two dark blues next to each other, and you kind of want to have the white spaced out evenly as well. Now we are just doing a little bit of pre-mixing with the colors. So basically I just used a dotting tool and dragged that through. I wanted to add a little bit more white. So once you kind of drag your dotting tool back and forth, you'll add that white in, and then you'll take your blooming gel, apply a thin layer to your nail. Very nice, even coverage is important here. So definitely take your time with this, and you don't want to cure this. You'll want to just scoop up those colors with a brush. I find one that's like this size shown here works well. And you're basically just going to apply it to that area over the blooming gel. And just kind of keep applying it in different areas, applying more of whichever color you feel like you need in certain areas to get the look that you want. So I wanted to add some more dark blue in that area. If you feel like you need more white, go ahead and grab that. I just put some on my nail art palette and took a small dotting tool and working that in. So kind of the combination of the pre-mixing as well as the blooming gel on the nail will help you get a really nice marble effect. This is one of my favorite nail art designs to do because you can do it with like any color and it's super easy and simple. And yeah, if you find there's extra polish, you can just take a lint-free wipe and wipe that off underneath the nail. Always be sure not to get any on the skin. And feel free to take your dotting tool and just further add or mix a little bit as needed. And then move on to your next nail. Apply your blooming gel. I'm using the Mia Secret blooming gel. It is my favorite. It's linked in my Amazon storefront. Super affordable and really great product. So you want to just apply a thin layer to wherever you want the blooming effect to be. You do not want to cure it. You need it uncured to have the blooming effect work. Scoop up some of the color and just start applying it in various motions. Scoop up more of whichever color you'd like to add. So I really wanted to add in more dark blue here, and then I like to add the white last with a dotting tool. We had added some white in the beginning, but it didn't end up being enough. So this is kind of the nice thing about this type of nail art style is that you can always go in and add more as needed. Just super easy to just grab it from your nail art palette and add in more, and use a smaller dotting tool helps versus a big one to just kind of add in more color where you need it and to further spread it out. And we definitely want to remove any excess polish underneath the nail so that we don't lose our shape. This is kind of how gel polish can get bulky if you don't clean it up from underneath. And yeah, just keep doing that with each nail. Apply your blooming gel in a nice even layer. Do not cure it. Scoop up your colors and just apply it in a irregular motion. You don't want to polish it as you would a nail. You actually do want to kind of go side to side, around and around, with different colors and your dotting tool to get, a nicer marble effect. And I think this look also works really nice when you do like different shades of blue or green and then add in white, kind of within the same color family, always looks really nice. And scooping up the colors from your palette versus dragging it, through helps as well, just to pick up more variety of color. And so, yeah, each nail is going to look a little different, but once we cure that, we're going to take a mini sponge. I love these little mini sponges for liquid chrome or just nail art because they're small enough to just use on the nail. And we are going to do a little bit of a seafoam effect, super easy. Just put some white on your nail art palette, pick up a very small amount on the very corner, and literally just kind of dab it on the top of the nail. So yeah, the mini sponge is a great way to add this effect, especially here we're kind of doing like a seafoam ocean look. So you can see that it's turning out pretty nicely, and you can clean up any excess with acetone if you have too much on there. So here's kind of how it's looking. And again, I would recommend using the corner of the sponge, and you don't want a lot of product on your sponge because you do want it to be a little transparent and kind of have that cloudy effect. So you really don't need to do too much here. Just take the corner of the sponge and apply it evenly across the nail on the top, and you should get a pretty nice kind of effect there. And then you can go ahead and cure each nail once that's done. And yeah, the reason I wanted to focus on just the nail art today is because I think we all have a tendency to not want to use our non-dominant hand, but these types of nail art can be really easy and fun to do on your non-dominant hand, and you don't have to be super precise. So I love doing blooming gel nail art, using, like the mini sponge where needed to add effects, or liquid chrome or things like that. It can be an easy way to just like do some fun, easy nail art using your non-dominant hand. And yeah, then you'll just want to apply your top coat. I use the Kupa top coat. Just trying to apply a nice even layer of that to each nail before curing in my lamp. So that's pretty much it. Super easy and quick tutorial today for your non-dominant hand, which is always nice. And all products will be linked in the description, and I will see you in my next tutorial.